Hey everybody, welcome back to Sports Central. We're on a roll today. Wow, some outstanding guests.
Running in that Ironman wore me out, but you know, hey, it was fun.
Running in the, he was sitting in the back of a golf cart following him is what he was doing. Handing out little shots of vodka, and they thought they were. Well, Hank, one of our
great sponsors joining us. Sunsplash Vacation Homes.
And Mike Eckersley and the crew.
Yep, and we can't thank them enough because it fits so well into this next segment.
What a nice segue.
They are so supportive of
I'm going to set you up here just beautifully because, as you all know, Hank continues to be a very world-class competitive water skier and very involved in the the AWS Water Ski Hall of Fame. Well, it just so happens that we have their new executive director, and you're going to love her. Her name is Tracy Mattis, and she is, well, I'm going to let her tell you because it's really an interesting story about Olympianism internationally, nationally. Ladies and gentlemen, this is some great stuff. But Hank's really the key guy here, so Hank?
Oh, well, thank you very much. Tracy, great to have you with us.
Thank you, great to be here.
And to give you folks a little background, we have a new executive director of the American Water Ski Educational Foundation Hall of Fame, which is really exciting because it's just going to kind of jumpstart this whole program, bring new life to it, and Tracy, to get to talk to you about your experience in being a world-class athlete yourself and being very involved with the Olympics and knowing how an Olympic governing body works and all of that. You're really bringing a wealth of knowledge and experience to the sport of water skiing, and it's delighted to have you on board.
Thank you, thank you. It's great to be here. Yes, I came from a track and field background. 7th in the world in the 400-meter hurdles was the best I've ever done in a couple Hall of Fames myself. But, you know, looking at this position, you know, bringing that, you know, from an athlete, I understand, you know, whether you're a skier, a biker, you know, whatever, runner, it doesn't matter. Everyone kind of can relate to that, you know, performance and all the things that go into training and all the things that need to do. And of course the support from the governing bodies and the sponsors and of course then worked 15 years with the Olympic family and really got to understand the politics behind, you know, various things, which we all know play a huge part in everything that we do, and kind of navigating around that and what sponsors look for and what they want their name on and the things that attract them. As you know, being in sports marketing with the diversity of sports out there and, you know, the marketing potential, it's created a massive competition to attract and keep sponsors. So I think, you know, this was a great opportunity to take this position. You know, it had been occupied for 32 years. So you know, coming in from the outside, there's a lot of potential there, and look forward to bringing my experience.
That's encouraging to hear.
I mean, some of the stuff that you've hit on, you know, working with Olympic governing bodies is totally different than working with other business organizations.
Yes.
It is a totally different animal.
Right.
And I am so glad she said that because it gives some credence to what Polk County Tourism and Sports Marketing does every single day. And you talked about the politics, not from all the way up in Colorado Springs,
sure,
or the IOC, International Olympic Committee, but even down to the governing body level.
Right.
You know, it is so competitive.
Very, very much so. And but you know, USA Water Ski has a great leader with Bob Crawley. They've got a great staff, great board members, and I'm very proud of our board of trustees on the foundation side and our executive committees, and all of them are on board with, right now, one of the first things I'm implementing as new executive director is putting together a 4-year strategic plan, which I believe was something missing from the organization, and it's typical of a lot of foundations out there. But you know, you want the bigger dollars and the bigger money in today's kind of marketing world. They will require that strategic plan, and so we're in the middle of that right now. Hank is a member of our committee to represent, you know, bring the Polk County side to it. As we reach out within our own community and the water ski community, and then obviously on a bigger level to the sponsors.
We're glad to have some representation on that one, because I tell you, you know, this it's an Olympic family organization, part of the Olympic family, and bringing your perspective, business perspective, but as well as an athlete, as an administrator, as a coach, brings a whole new dimension to what the sport has enjoyed in the past. So it kind of elevates the platform. And Hank, that's got to be a bit of a challenge for you guys because it's more of an open slate now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what's so interesting is saying, okay, let's stop and take a look at what's gone on and kind of evaluate, you know, what do you think of the American Water Ski Educational Foundation? What do you think it is? You know, what does it mean to you, and how can we get it to grow, and how can we make the people that are members of USA Water Ski members of the Educational Foundation, and what can we do for the foundation to bring awareness to everybody and get people to start to get involved, and having a plan to actually, I mean, the people on the board are so diversified and so successful, and for the first time there's, you know, people talking about what can we do to, you know, get an idea, to survey people, to find out, you know, what can we be, where should we be going, and what do you think of us, and if you were a member before and you're not a member now, why aren't you? So it's a great process.
Okay, I'm going to ask the next logical, of course everything's logical in my head. The next logical question to me is, would that potentially mean a rebranding, maybe even a new name?
It could be. You know, when you look at precedents of what's been successful, when you look at governing bodies and their respective foundations, whether it's USA Swimming, the foundation, USA Track and Field, the foundation. There was a time when it was called AWS, you know, the American Water Ski Association. When the foundation was formed, it was the American Water Ski, so it had that. Now, being that USA Water Ski has taken over, you know, it is a time to change the foundation name. So, because there's a lot of confusion out there. Here's USA Water Ski, but you're the American Water Ski. And that's fine for the older generation that kind of grew up through that, but we have a whole new generation. Yes, like
I thought you meant that you were talking about the new younger generation. Oh.
I didn't say it, he did.
Oh, yeah. He's just on a roll today. He is just
us spring chickens, you know, we yeah, he looks up at my gray area.
Yeah, what's left of it.
Well, I think that's going to be a heck of an opportunity, and
yes,
you know, I think you bring in Hank's expertise and insights and so on. But you know, the possibilities. Talk to us a little bit about the foundation itself. You know, it says Educational Foundation. Now, I don't see it so much as educational as I do promoting the sport of water
Well,
skiing.
and when it was chartered in 1968, I mean, it was chartered to support the USA Water Ski team, and also create opportunities for skiers, people to get involved in skiing, and they had the educational side of it. And from the educational perspective, we do provide, we just chose our 7 scholarship winners, and I think that because there's not a lot of collegiate teams like there is track, you know, there's certain schools that have it and some that don't. So this actually gives water skiers an opportunity to get a scholarship if they happen to choose a college that may not have a team, or
like Florida Southern, right here in Polk County, is one of them. Yeah.
You know, and back in the day too, when the foundation started, they used to be the fundraiser for the U.S. teams.
Right.
And that was one of their big responsibilities.
We've moved away from that, and I'm not quite sure why, but I think, you know, most of the foundations, you've got the governing body, which acts as the government. They sanction the events, they have their members, the insurance, and then you have the foundation that does the fundraising, the events, the programs, the, you know, the scholarships that build that, and gives back and supports the team. And it creates a great cycle of once they become alumni, then they give back. And for some reason, that somewhere along the way that divided, and we hope to definitely bring that back together. And like I say, and we're drawing information from all our stakeholders. This isn't going to be a decision just made by a small group of people. We're really reaching out to get the input of all of the stakeholders that have been involved with this for many, many years. And
well, I think you've got a good one too. In Paul Chapin is your president. You know, Paul and I, boy, we've been friends for 45 years, I guess, or acquaintances, friends, all that type of thing. In fact, we ski together out in Aspen.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
we both lived out in Aspen
Okay.
and worked for Aspen Highlands, one of my favorite pictures of me snow skiing was taken by Paul. We were,
oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, we were sort of out of bounds and shouldn't have been doing what we were doing, but it was, he was a heck of a photographer. I don't know if you knew that or not.
Oh, gosh, I didn't.
Oh, man, he took some great, great photos. But Tracy, you've been around Olympic and the international scene for a long time. And each governing body is different. What particular challenges do you see ahead of you in the sport of water skiing, or maybe some advantages that water skiing has versus some of the other sports that you've seen?
Well, you know, like many other sports, it's got the initial challenge of being a smaller sport when you look at the grand scale of things. You know, it doesn't, you know, track and field now, you know, is, you know, multi-million-dollar budgets, you know, and water ski, kind of like some of the other, you know, you've got the rowing, you know, some of the others that are fantastic sports, but struggle with that, you know, they're kind of lower on the totem pole. However, it's got a lot of potential individually. There's 25 million water skiers in this country. Not all of them are competitive, but our foundation can reach out to those. We can, from grassroots program to supporting the U.S. teams, you know, from grassroots to the Hall of Fame, the beginning to the end, and we can reach out to those with various programs. And I think also, you know, the embracing kind of the wakeboarding that's coming up and the popularity of that. And you know, sometimes when a new kind of addition kind of comes on and become boom, you know, this popular, it's, you know, it's got its challenges too, but kind of embracing all of the different disciplines that fall under USA Water Ski, the 9 disciplines, and really embracing, you know, all of those.
And I'm really glad to hear you say that too, because, you know, I'm not a big wakeboard guy, you know, and I mean, I remember when Tony Finn started his scurfing on the Pro Tour, you know, and we were all like, what the heck is this, you know?
Right.
And now look what it's grown into, and a lot of that credit needs to go to Tony. But you know, and Hank, you see this all the time, and that wakeboard culture is a little bit different and sometimes a little tougher to swallow for some of the old guard.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, I think it's part of a solid strategic plan heading into the future to get that younger group on. So
definitely.
well, that's some great stuff. We got to have you back on the show here. We've
thank you.
Burning through this segment.
Oh, it's ridiculous. I mean, you know, it's a good one when it's just like, oh my gosh, no, we've got to say
we have so much more to say. Yeah.
But you know, we're going to be meeting soon anyway.
Yes.
You and I are going to get together for you know, a few discussions on some things, and of course, I'd love, you know, Hank needs to be involved in that discussion too.
Definitely.
But, in fact, congratulations! You never told me about that, big boy.
What's that?
That you're on that.
You're on our strategic planning committee.
Read the email thoroughly enough that I sent you.
Must be fun working with you two.
I don't think so.
I'll have to.
I'm thorough with my stuff. Tracy, thanks so much for joining us. Wow, what a delight! It's a pleasure to have you in the county.
Thank you.
And taking over, you know, of course, something near and dear to Hank and my heart. But we'll see you again soon.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
Tracy.
All right.
You bet.